Are you in debt and thinking about draining your 401k to make it go away? If so, I'm gonna stop you right there. Please don't do anything until you watch this, because in this video, I'm going to share actually a real story of a couple we helped recently who thought cashing out their retirement would solve everything, but instead it made their situation worse. So before we get into this too deep, just as a reminder, this video is just for informational purposes only and not meant to be construed as legal or financial advice. Look, life happens, right? Debt happens, medical bills, credit cards, unexpected expenses, they all happen. It's just a sad part of life. And when you're buried in debt, it's tempting to look at that 401k balance and think, well, maybe if I just can use this money, I'll be debt free and I can finally start fresh, right? But here's the thing. Most people don't realize taking money out of your 401k before retirement can come with massive penalties, taxes, and unfortunate long-term consequences. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't really fix the root of the debt problem. So let me tell you about a couple we worked with in California. Between the two of them, they had about $85,000 in unsecured debt. About $45,000 was for a swimming pool loan, which was around $400 per month. Now, another $40,000 was on credit cards with interest rates between 19 and 22%. Now, just the credit cards alone were costing them about $1,700 every single month in payments. Now, when you add all that up, they were shelling out roughly $2,100 a month just to keep up with things. But here's the kicker. They had already drained their 401k once before, hoping it would wipe out their debt. But guess what? Within a few years, they were right back in the same situation, same debt, but now without their retirement cushion. Now, the thing is, their credit scores were still decent. One was around 720 and the other one was in the high 600s. They had about $200,000 in home equity, and they were trying to figure out if Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Chapter 13 bankruptcy, debt settlement, or even doing a HELOC was the next best move for them, which is ultimately what led them to us, because we have a free tool that helps people compare all their debt options. I'll dive into that more in a bit. But by pulling money out of their 401k early, they not only lost the retirement safety net, they also triggered extra taxes and penalties. Because if you're under retirement age, you hit a 10% early withdrawal penalty, and you may have to pay income tax on whatever you pull out. And the money they worked so hard to save for their future, unfortunately gone. Now, even worse, if you pull out that money just to throw it at high interest credit cards, a lot of it will still get eaten up by interest, not to mention even the potential lost earnings of keeping that money in there over all those years. Now, in the end, this all could have been avoided if they had explored their debt options instead. And the thing is, they're not alone, right? I've seen this mistake happen before, and it can delay retirement for years and sometimes even a decade, which maybe you're thinking, are there really any debt options that actually protect your 401k and retirement accounts? And the short answer is absolutely. But the long answer is you would need to file bankruptcy. I know bankruptcy comes with, I'll say, a lot of stigma, but if you've ever had to file, your 401k is usually protected thanks to different federal laws. Now, because of those laws, most retirement accounts can't be touched in bankruptcy.
No touchy, no touchy, no touch.
So the money they've cashed out, they would have been allowed to keep it safe, and they would have gotten out of debt cheaper and faster if they had filed bankruptcy instead. And that's why draining your retirement early is one of the most painful mistakes people can make when they're desperate to get out of debt, because there are other options out there. But maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, what are even my other options? Well, like I mentioned, there's bankruptcy, but there's also debt settlement, debt management, or debt consolidation loans. And here's the encouraging part. Most of these options actually can get you out of debt within 3 to 5 years without ever touching your retirement funds.
No touch.
And luckily for you, we've actually built a free calculator that allows you to compare these options side by side, all based on your actual numbers. We've helped thousands and thousands of people find their best path to get out of debt over these years with our calculators. And yes, as I mentioned, the best part is these are free calculators to take. You don't even have to provide your contact information unless you want us to chat with you or you want to chat with our team about your different options. I'm going to leave a link below if you want to check it out. It only takes a few minutes to complete and could honestly save you years of headache and stress. Plus, it could help you find an option that could save you thousands of dollars in interest. So here's the lesson. Cashing out your 401k to pay off debt might feel like the most responsible decision, but for many people, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. Debt often comes back, and now you're years behind on retirement savings. Being in debt is not worth sabotaging your retirement. And remember, 401k accounts are usually protected in bankruptcy, which means even if you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, you typically get to keep those retirement funds. That's why draining them early is often one of the most costliest mistakes people are making when they're stressed from their debt. Now, if you're feeling weighed down by debt and even considering dipping into your 401k, just pause for a second. Before making a move that could cost you your retirement, make sure you've looked at all of your options. And that's again why we've built that free debt options calculator. It lets you compare these options side by side, no pressure, no email required. It's completely anonymous. It's quick, simple, and could show you the fastest way to get out of debt so you can get back to focusing on your future and building your retirement savings. Just click the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below if there are any topics you'd like us to cover in future videos. Take care.